Well, good morning, and welcome to thefoodwarrior.com. My name is David Michael Colares, and I'm the Food Warrior. So, I'm always adjusting my camera. Uh, but anyway, it's to wake you up. That's what it is. Okay, now today is the agreement number 2. And what might that be? Number 2, never make assumptions. And how often do we do that? We're always figuring, this is why he or she did this, and not knowing their story. Don't make assumptions. And what does assumption spell? You all know what it means. I'm sure of it, unless you've been living under a rock or something. So, oftentimes, I make assumptions sometimes. I'm trying very hard to not. And it's, our mind are so active. We're very good directors and make all these little stories up, the movies, if you will. And so anyway, let me tell you my story. And this happened, I want to say maybe almost 10 years ago. And but anyway, I belong to a men's group called the New Warriors, and I was asked to join the LIT, meaning Leader in Training. They decided that I had enough leadership ability, even though I had just joined up at 2004, and just been in for a couple of years, and I was asked to join up, and I did. And so anyway, one of the number 2 steps was a leader group 2, and anyway, it was a bit north of us, and I was driving, and the driveway alone was about a half a mile. It was a beautiful cabin that was moved over there, and then they add on to it. It was just a beautiful thing. Well, anyway, I came into the driveway and I parked my van at the time, and to my left there was a guy at the with his station wagon. And I just looked at him and asked him, where do we go from here? And he says, well, just go upstairs and put your stuff down. And I said, geez, what the heck? What did I do? And again, I made an assumption that perhaps he wasn't crazy about Mexicans. So I just went upstairs and, with my stuff, and I came back down, and someone else was there now and asked me if I would help to unload the food, because it was going to be a whole weekend. And I did. So, I unloaded, helped to load, and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I decided I was going to watch this guy who I had encountered, and watched him, and said, boy, this guy certainly doesn't sound like what I assumed he might be like. So I just asked him, hey Joe, would you mind having a word with me outside on the balcony? And he said, oh, sure. So I go outside, and then I explained to him my side of the story. And he looked at me for a few seconds, and I said, oh, I have to really apologize to you. The guy who came before you, I asked him if he would help me unload this food. And he said, hey, I ain't got time for that. I got to unpack. So he got a little upset. So I came along, expecting me to say the same thing. But before I could open my mouth, or actually I did open my mouth, but because I asked him a question, he just blurted out to me where to go. And he apologized. It had nothing to do with me, but everything happened to do what happened to himself. And had I not had the courage to ask them, for the rest of my life, I would have thought this guy was a bigot and he disrespected me. And here's another layer of something that proved to be untrue. So I really felt good about that. And it did take courage. I was a little bit afraid to hear the answer, but that's what we have to do in life. Sometimes we have to step into the ring of fire, if you will, to learn the truth. Sometimes the truth, though, does hurt. But I'm going to tell you, 9 times out of 10, you will learn something from that truth, regardless of it's good, bad, or indifferent. The truth will never, never hurt you. In the long run, it will benefit you. So, with that, you have an amazing day. God bless you. And remember, honor your mind, body, and soul. And we'll see you tomorrow.